Jordan Peele gained his big break in 2003 when he joined the sketch comedy series Mad TV. He had spent 5 seasons with Mad TV after leaving in 2008. He then collaborated with Keegan-Michael Key and created and starred in their own sketch comedy series, Key and Peele, between 2012 and 2015. But it was in 2017 when Peele found success as a filmmaker with his first solo-directed film with Get Out, a critically acclaimed film receiving praise for his screenplay and direction. Get Out was not only popular with movie critics, but general movie audiences as well. Get Out not only eventually became the most profitable horror film in 2017, but one of the most profitable films across all genres. The success of Get Out began bringing Peele even more attention towards his name. Along with this, Peele also received the Bingham Ray Breakthrough Director Award at the 2017 Gotham Independent Film Awards. Get Out also received 3 nominations at the 90th Academy Awards for Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Original Screenplay, and won the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay, becoming the first black screenwriter to win in this category. Peele followed up Get Out with his second film as a director with Us, a horror thriller film he wrote and produced. Peele continuously proves himself as an auteur with his indistinguishable stylistic approaches across his work. Peele is a director that capitalizes on representing underprivileged groups, whether it be groups experiencing discrimination for race or economic status. Peele has stated his goal is to spark social discussion. With Get Out, Peele wanted to create a social commentary on race relations in America. Peele states he wanted to bring a piece of the conversation he never saw put on film. Peele felt that there was a void in the way we spoke about race and felt racism was not being called out sufficiently enough. Although we have many examples of films that tackle race, Get Out goes for a more unusual target than racism in early stages of America. Get Out targets white liberals, a group that is relevant today. In comparison to Get Out, we have Us, a story warning us to change the direction we're going in America. Peele states horror films are about the return of the repressed, and it takes a step further in Us by putting our own faces on our repression. The underrepresented group here is those of suffering from their economic status. Peele wanted to make a statement using doppelgangers in the film because he believes we as Americans have a problem with inequality. Peele states that tethered in Us are represented as doppelgangers because the difference between these two groups of people are circumstantial. You won't be able to tell the difference otherwise. The social construct of being on one side of America's economic status is dangerous for the well-being of the human race, turning us against each other. Peele believes if you're privileged and ignore this privilege and allow others who are unprivileged to continue suffering, you are doing your fellow humans injustice. Peele is also seen continuously blending his expertise with comedy with horror in his films. Peele states that this is a deliberate choice in the films. Peele states when it comes to comedy and horror, it's about demonstrating truth. He believes if you're not accessing something that feels true, you're not executing either genre correctly. You have to be tuned into the audience and their emotion. Peele understands he puts his audience through a lot when watching his films. There's a lot of tension and uncomfortable situations, and there are moments that it may be too hard to watch or just make you want to scream. Peele uses comedy or comedic characters as a release valve for his viewers. He believes these moments in his films make these stories feel that much more realistic because he believes it represents how people may actually react when put in these situations. It's evident that Peele continuously uses symbolism across his work. A lot of the symbolism may not be so apparent when first watching his films, and it may need to be analyzed afterwards or through another viewing. Within Get Out, we can see use of symbolism in many places, but we'll stick to just a few. First, we have the deer in Get Out that Chris and Rose hit when driving in the beginning of the film. The deer is a gentle creature and can be seen as a representation of Chris and an omen to come, as a deer was an innocent sacrifice for another's goal. We later see in the film the Armitage family has a wall trophy of a deer head. They have made the deer a trophy just like they would like to make Chris one. Second, we have the sunken place in Get Out. Chris falling deeper and deeper in the sunken place can be viewed as suppression of Chris's free will and pushing back against forward progress that has been made when it comes to race relations. In comparison, in Us, we have the underground place. It literalizes and gives visual form of the sunken place from Get Out. It's expanding on the idea that certain people in our society are relegated to a less than existence, where they are denied control of their bodies and lives. We can see the bunnies in Us as a symbol as well. We see the opening shot of Us showing the breeding of bunnies, representing how the tethered are just an experiment, just how bunnies are used for experimental testing. Along with that, we see Us putting a huge emphasis on the imagery of duality. We see this being expressed with symbolism all across the film. We have the pair of scissors that are a prominent weapon for the tether throughout the film. Scissors are not only literally and physically a tool of duality, but scissors are made whole from two parts, an instrument that creates duality when used. Lastly, we also see the use of hands across America from the 80s, creating a literal divide by creating a human wall within the film, dividing America into two halves. Depending on what side of America you're on, can represent what type of person you're viewed as in America. Peele's goal as a director is to fill a void of social issues that aren't being brought to light sufficiently enough, and he has been able to accomplish that. Along with that, he uses symbolism to make us think even further and create our own interpretation of how we view society. To keep us grounded to reality with his extreme use of thriller horror, he also artistically blends in comedy to have us feel more connected to how we truly react to these stories. Peele is truly an auteur that is still young as a director, and I cannot wait to see how he continues to grow.